All right, men, welcome to today's episode of Strong Men, Strong Marriages. Is your wife against you? So, boy, it can feel like that sometimes, depending on what's going on in your marriage. Um, but today we're going to talk about a new framework and how you can think about that in a different way. They'll help you respond in a new way, act a different way, have different feelings, different intentions, and just help you feel better about your life and your relationship in general. So, my name is Mike Fraser, MD. I'm a psychiatrist and marriage coach. I help high achieving Christian men have more intimate marriages. So, some wins from guys in our program. Guys in the program are having more physical intimacy with their wives, which is so fun to see, sharing New Year's kisses, enjoying that time together. Super cool. Guys are having more conversations and connections with their wives, feeling that trust, that communication, that intimacy, feeling connected again, like best friends, or maybe sharing some things that are hard with each other and growing more intimate through that. You know, it's not always, intimacy isn't always sharing something great. A lot of times it's sharing something that's hard and really knowing each other's heart. But that breeds respect, that breeds trust, and that breeds intimacy. Okay. Men are standing up for themselves, right? Not just getting walked over like with spending. In particular, one of the guys in the program had some good success with that this week, standing up for himself in a good way that way. Wives are sharing that they're grateful for their husbands being in the program, which I always love hearing that, that wives are grateful for that. For me, got a better understanding of my wife and just listening to her, understanding where she's at. Hey, look, guys, like the truth is, I've hurt my wife over time by the stuff I've done and how I behaved. And so it comes and goes, right? Sometimes she feels closer, sometimes stuff reminds her of that. Right now is one of those times where, yeah, like she's being reminded of things I've done to hurt her over time. And so there's some distance there right now, and that's okay, right? I can either freak out about that or I can understand it. And I'll tell you this, like it goes way better when I'm trying to understand it, trying to understand why, yeah, like it makes sense for her to protect herself. I have been hurtful emotionally. I have been too much about myself and all of that. And look, sometimes that flares up. And yeah, I do stuff that reminds her of that. I do stuff that is hurtful still sometimes. And, you know, that's what happens. But trying to understand her perspective just works way better. And so we're going to talk a little bit about that today. But so here's the thing. The title of this is Your Wife Against You? And if you're like me, a lot of things in life can feel like a competition. You maybe grew up playing sports and you just learned, hey, like it's me against you. It's win or lose. You got to try to win. Whether that's in sports or in grades, you want to get the best grades. You want to be number one in your class. And then that, unfortunately, you can bring that into your family, right? And feel like, okay, if they're not with me, they're against me. And what I realized when we had this discussion, argument that I'm going to explain to you, I realized I was really going into that mindset of like, it's them against me and they're against me, instead of understand that's not really the case. So, yeah, so what happened was a conversation about our son, our oldest son, and specifically about he's 18, and he's in college and he's working full time. So we're trying to figure out like, okay, we can't exactly have the same consequences we used to, the same rules we used to, but we still need to have some. He's living here, right? And so, in particular, we're talking about him cleaning his room. What were the consequences for him doing or not doing that? And then rules with his girlfriend, what's appropriate, what's not, what are we going to allow, what are we not. So we sat down, and as soon as we started this conversation, I just had this image in my mind. So it was like, it was me versus my son, and my wife was the referee in between us. But I did not trust this referee to represent me, or like a judge, sort of like, and, me and my son just like going at each other, and she's like trying to hold both of us off, but really her kind of moving to his side, right, and trying to protect him and not being on my side, right. And so when I get that image, I feel lonely, okay, I feel angry, I feel, but most of it's like lonely, and I feel like I have to just like impose my will and just be like, no, like I'm in charge here. And but really it's a reaction to feeling kind of abandoned and feeling alone and feeling like I don't have somebody with me, right? I don't have somebody on my team that I wish was on my team, right? Now, you might hear that and say, oh, Mike, like, wow, that sounds really hard. Like, and if I was with maybe not as skilled a therapist, they might say something like, well, yeah, like that's a valid feeling, and we should validate that feeling. Your wife should validate that feeling. You shouldn't feel alone, right? But here's the problem. The problem is the entire vision, this entire framework, this entire analogy is off, right? And so when you're operating from a framework of me versus you, and my wife's against me and my kid's against me, okay, you're just in trouble, right? You're creating this no-win situation. Okay, my wife's either on my team or my son's team. Okay, what kind of position is that for her to be in? And let me tell you guys, I've put my wife in that position way too many times in our marriage, especially with our oldest son. And so it's an impossible situation for her to be in. I'm like, well, am I more important or is he more important? Stupid question, right? Not a good question, because it's just the wrong framework. Okay, look, kids do get rebellious, especially if you're a parent of teenagers, you will know this. If you're not yet, okay, just wait. Just wait. I think God tests us with our kids in a lot of ways. Gives us stuff that's especially difficult so we can grow, right? But it can feel very oppositional. It can feel very much me versus you, and you are going down, right? Because I'm bigger and stronger, and I pay for everything in this house, so you better freaking deal with it. That's the attitude I can get into really easily, but it's not right. Okay, it's not good. It's not. Again, my wife has told me she feels she has to protect the kids from me. That's not a position I want to put her in. That doesn't make her attracted to me. Really, like, this is our big issue right now. Like, I've done that too many times. And so she is appropriately saying, like, hey, I'm not feeling especially safe with you, or having the kids safe with you. Of course she says that. Makes total sense. But again, it's just this framework, this framework that I have. And this is a cool, just like revelation. I feel like God helped me see this. It's just not right. Okay, it's not the right framework. Okay, does it make sense to see my relationship with my son as a contest, as a competition? Okay, so like I ran this through ChatGPT, which I am enjoying a lot and learning how to use a lot better, and it spit out some ideas for me. One of them was, I was like, man, just help me think of some ideas here, because I get really in these contests, in these power struggles. And what's another idea? So one of the phrases I came up with that I review every day now and really like is, I'm raising a man, not winning a fight. So again, I'm raising a man, I'm not winning a fight. And I love it, right? Because it just, that's the shift I'm talking about. Okay, like, this isn't me versus my son. Okay, that's just the wrong mindset. Okay, so here's a much better image. Okay, so the image instead is me and my wife on the same team, helping our son, achieve great things in his life. My wife's, one of her visions is for him to feel unconditionally loved when he leaves the house. I think that's a great goal. I think that would be great for him to feel that way. In my mind, and this is something that, like, I need God to help me with, is in my mind I'm still like, well, he still needs to understand consequence and all of that, and like get into real life. That's true. And I think part of that's, why it's good to have a mom and dad whenever possible, right? The dad kind of does focus more that way. The mom kind of does focus more on unconditional love. And it's probably good for the kid to have a balance of those, right? So she could take some things from me, and she actually is, and I could take some things from her, and I'm trying to, right? I haven't very well in the past, so I'm trying to do that now. But again, this image, right, where it's like we're sitting together, we see our son there, we're planning, and we're like, okay, we have the same goal. We want this kid to succeed in life. We want him to feel loved. We want him to feel valuable. We want him to achieve things. We also need him to have certain skills like money, managing his money, cleaning his room, getting along with people, right? That's more like my strength, right? I like teaching people skills. That's what we do in the program. Yeah, but seeing it that way, okay, like we're like, what I'm picturing right now is like a football field. So there's our son, he's on the football field, he's playing. We're the two coaches on the sidelines, like, okay, how can we help him? How can we help him succeed out there? Okay, that's just such a better vision than what I had before, right? Of me versus my son, my wife's trying to step in between us and she's taking his side. Okay, now I'm more mad, now I'm more alone. Versus picturing we're coaches on the sideline, we're helping him succeed. Collaborative, cooperative, right? Feeling loving for him, wanting him to succeed. Okay, instead of like, when I get in these mindsets, I'm like, this kid's going down, I'm gonna crush him. Like, I do not care what he thinks. Like, he needs to do what I say. And it kind of feels strong and it kind of feels good. But let me tell you guys, if you do that too much, you're going to be in the position I'm in, where my son doesn't really like talking to me that much because I've done this too many times. And my wife is understandably upset about that, right? Frustrated by that. So, again, being on this coaching mindset, seeing our son out there on the field, okay? So, again, instead of feeling ganged up on, alone, angry with this, like, okay, it's me versus him, my wife's on his team, now I'm alone, now I'm going to be even more mad, I'm putting these guys down, okay? Instead, okay, we're the coaches, there's our son out there, let's help him succeed. Immediately, right, I feel more relaxed, I realize we're on the same team. We're all on the same team. My wife's with me on this, okay? So, super valuable. Definitely recommend it to you guys as a mindset, right? If you feel like your kid in particular is kind of against you and your wife's on your kid's team and not on your team, right? It's just not accurate, okay? You guys are both the coaches, okay? You're going to have differences of opinion, how to succeed, right? How to help your kids succeed, which is fine, right? Work together. Find something that works for both of you. So the other thing I realized through this, and God can help me see this too, is like with my son, look, he can make me his enemy if he wants, right? But I don't have to make him my enemy. Wow, powerful, right? He can make me his enemy. I don't have to make him my enemy, and I won't, right? It doesn't make sense. I don't want to do that anymore. So another image I had from God, right, is this idea of like a judo move. Like he's coming at me, oh, Dad, you're the worst, right? And I can just kind of like grab him and flip him forward into, succeeding more in life, right? Take that energy, put it into a better direction. Yeah. So that was a cool image I had too, and it was helpful for me. So the scripture I've been learning, right? Love your enemies, bless them that curse you, do good to them that hate you, pray for those who mistreat you. Okay, why is God saying that? Because it's hard? No, I don't think he wants us to have difficulty in our lives. I think he wants us to have good lives, the best lives we can have. So to me, this is just like the ultimate power move. Okay, you can hate me, but I'm gonna love you. I forget who it is, but someone has that quote. I love you and there's nothing you can do about it. Power, right? That's a power move. You can't affect me in a negative way. I'm not gonna go evil with your evil. I'm going to return good for evil. I'm going to turn evil into good. That's what God's able to do. One of the things we teach our guys in the program is dropping the rope. So like if you're in an argument, just agreeing with the other person kind of ends the argument. Powerful move to do. Okay. This is like the next level, where not only do we drop it, but we say, hey, like we're not fighting anymore and let's help you, right? Let's help you succeed. Okay. Or like Abraham Lincoln says, he says, I destroy my enemies by making them my friends. I promise you guys, it is more powerful to do it that way. It really is. Right? So in summary, if you think your wife's against you, she's probably not. Okay, she's probably not. She's probably been hurt by you over time and she's protecting herself. That's probably what's going on, right? If you're still married, she hasn't divorced you, or even if she is divorcing you, she's definitely been hurt. But if you're separated, she's still like, man, he hurt me a lot. I don't know if I can trust him. Okay, she's got to protect herself. So she's probably not against you. She's just hurt and protecting herself. Okay, so bless her life. Even if she's being mean to you, bless her, right? Again, you win either way because you're being who you want to be and you're doing the thing that's most likely for her to change her heart. Okay. And if your kids are rebelling, judo move that, right, into helping them be great men and women in that spirit of love. Okay. So like if my son is, saying rude things to me, and just be like, hey, like that's hurtful when you do that. I still love you. I just want to let you know that's hurtful when you do that. Okay. That's a good way to judo move that. So if you want to come with us and come on this journey of being stronger, more Christ-like men, learning these strengths and skills, putting them into place, working every day to do it, come join us in Strong Men, Strong Marriages. This is for high-achieving Christian men. So I have a couple types of ways we can work together. So there's the group program. It's an affordable program. I want to make that reachable for anybody. Again, my goal there is 500 guys this year to be a part of that. and to get out there. So I priced it this time in a way that will help you do that. So that only goes out to the email list. So come join the email list at strongmen.io. You'll see that at the end of this month. I also have an intensive program that's for guys that are making, more money, business owners, doctors, lawyers, professionals, and have more to invest, make a 5-figure investment in coaching. So we've got those 2 levels, and you can come do either one, and we'd love to do it with you. So come visit strongmen.io, join the email list. If you are in that income range, or where you're ready, willing, wanting to make a 5-figure investment into coaching to improve your marriage and life, there's an application you can fill out for that too. So again, strongmen.io, and we will see you there. Stay strong in God, men. We'll see you next episode.